Hey everyone, Merxerain, back again with Enigmatica 6 Expert. This is now episode 28. Holy cow, that's a lot of episodes. In the last episode, we built the smeltery behind us. In this episode, we are going to work on getting ourselves a destruction core. Now, we might not actually get to the destruction core in this episode. However, we are going to get to the ichor bees. The ichor bees will allow us to make ichor crystals, which are needed for the core. And then as well, I think we're going to do a lot more research into bee things, such as apiaries. But to start off, let's go ahead and look again at our ichor bee jar. How do we get this? It says that we're supposed to get liquid ichor bee and put it into an empty bee jar. Okay, doesn't sound too hard or too crazy. We need blood, 2 slime balls worth, which, I'm not sure exactly how much that's going to be. And we need 500 millibuckets of slimy bee. It does look like 1 slimy bee will give us 100 millibuckets of the slimy bee. Oh, that means we're going to need 5 slimy bees per ichor bee that we craft. That's quite a few slimy bees. I only have 2 prepared. I'll have to make some more. Before we do that, though, we're going to want the blood. And I think that we can just put some cows in here and get blood from them. However, we do need to supply this with some lava. Due to the revelation that we're actually going to need a lot of liquid slimy bees, I decided to take a look at how many, blood we're going to need, how many cows we need. It says 500 millibuckets. Okay, if we look at this, I believe the cows are part of this craft down here. We get 50 millibuckets per 1 heart of damage. So we need 10 hearts of damage to get 500. Well, they have 5 hearts each, so that should be 500. So I think we're going to need 4 total cows. So I'm going to go grab 2 more cows now. Yoink. Yoink. Alright, we have all 4 for cows now. So, we need a lot more. I think we needed 10 of these slimy bees. I don't have 10. We're going to have to craft some more of those guys. And by craft, I mean breed some more. Go ahead and just get a bunch of slime block. And I'll show you where I've been breeding them. Just over here. Really nothing special. I had 2 more in here ready to go. And you can see I put them in jars right after breeding last time, so they're not ready to breed again yet. We'll put all of our slime block right there so it's ready to go, and we're going to have to come back here and keep breeding them up. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get our blood going. So we need to power our smeltery with lava. Thankfully, we still have a little bit over here. I should just have to right-click this right into the seared fuel tank. And there they are, taking damage. Oh no, we got liquid meat. We did not get blood. Okay. Good to know. Alright, so down on the bottom, there's all sorts of different animals that look like they would give us blood. Pigs might even be on the list. However, a really easy source is probably going to be zombies. Zombies give us blood. It's only 25 millibuckets per 1 heart of damage, but they do have more hearts of damage than a cow does. Let's go ahead and capture some zombies. Roaming around the village, I see that we have a witch. I don't know how we got this witch. I'm kind of wondering if a lightning strike might have hit one of our villagers. We're gonna capture this witch. With our 7 zombies, I think we're going to have enough blood. Let's go ahead and see what happens when we put them in there. Now, when we put them in there, they're going to be mini, right? They're going to be shrunk down. I don't know if that's going to have any effect on how much blood that they can drop, so I'm going to try and click them to unshrink them as soon as I can. Cool. 2 slime balls worth of blood, so that's 550. So I think we need 2 more zombies to go in. Now this one has like armor on. I don't know if he'll drop the armor or what. We'll see what happens. So it looks like we have 1,200 millibuckets of blood, which should certainly be enough. I'm going to store the remaining zombies we got on the wall over here, just so we have them in the future if we need more blood. In reading the entity melting again, I realized I made another mistake. It's not 1 slimy bee to 100 millibuckets of liquid slimy bee. It's the very similar thing. That's 100 millibuckets of liquid slimy bee per heart. Interestingly enough, you can see some of these guys took damage, so this guy's only got 4 hearts. So we really need a 5-hearter, which we have here. This guy's got 4.5, so he also took a little damage, but here we go. I'm also going to breed them all again. Where did our other guy go? There we are. Now we'll take the 2 that have full life. 1. And there's 2. Now then, this might be tricky, right? Since the bees can fly, we might need to put a lid on this, but I'm gonna try putting one in real quick just to see what happens. Oh yeah, he popped right out. Okay, to remedy our roof situation, I've now put a bunch of spruce trapdoors on top. So we're just gonna go ahead and drop our bee in there. And there he goes. Oh, we also got slimy larvae from killing him. Interesting. I was kind of curious how we got the larva. Must be killing the bees themselves is what gets you the larva. So there's our 500 millibuckets of the liquid ichor bee. Let's go ahead and put our 2nd bee in there. Very cool. 1 liquid ichor bee, so 1 bucket's worth. If we click it, when we click it, it will go down to the bottom of the smeltery. We can also see, right, the blood and the slime is gone because it fully combined into our liquid ichor bee. The recipe said to put an empty bee jar right here, and then we're going to click on the drain. We can see it's in there. It should be cooling. Cooled. Filled bee jar ichor bee. Let's go ahead and get our 2nd one. Wow, look at that. We have them. Let's go ahead and find a space for them in our current bee situation. What do we no longer need? Redstone, copper, sandy, beeper. How about the beeper? Oh, what a perfect time to show up when they pop out. Beepers obtained, and we will put our ichor bees in there just like so. Name it appropriately, and perfect. We will get ichor combs coming in shortly. And once we do, we can of course make progress on the destruction core. Let's go ahead and craft ourselves all the way up to the apiary now, if we can. Starting with the tier 1 hive upgrade. What's interesting to read in here, right? The higher tier the nest is, the more bees it can house, the faster it will run, and the more it will produce, right? So we probably want to upgrade our current setup with these if we don't wholesale switch over to the apiaries. One other thing here too is you cannot skip tiers, so we will actually need, if we wanted to upgrade all 10 of our current hives, we would need 10 of these, and then we would need 10 of the next one, which actually, the next one requires the first one, right? So we would actually need a lot of these to upgrade everything. But in order to make one tier 1 apiary, we just need one of the tier 4 hive upgrades. So I think we're going to start there. Alright, so this tier 1 hive upgrade requires grass, which is everywhere, right? Any kind of plank, which is also fine, and this gold powder. And if you forgot, in order to get the gold powder, we had to get silkworms in a tomb, and then the silk moths, I mean. Kill the silk moths, you get a drop that we could then turn into gold something to get this gold leaf. And you had to apply that to leaves, and that's what we have going on those yellowy trees right over there. That's all gold leaf. So when you break it, you get the leaf, and then you need to turn the leaf into... Actually, let's go ahead and do that. Into gold powder. There we are, gold powder. My storage is getting a little full. Let's go ahead and make, let's just make one of these, and we're just going to progress all the way up through the tier. This one requires beeswax and any kind of honeycomb, which we have plenty of honeycomb in there. Except, you know what? I don't want to use the normal comb. I would rather use a modded comb, such as glowstone. Okay, tier 2 hive upgrade complete. We should be able to forge right on into tier 3, no problem. Go ahead and request whatever we can get. So I have lots of glowstone, so I made a bunch of the glowstone honeycomb blocks. Here's our tier 3 hive upgrade, and then finally the tier 4 hive upgrade, which again, this actually just takes like honey, so this is real easy to make. Tier 4 hive upgrade complete. Cool. Now, if we wanted to convert that into the apiary, we do so again with almost the same kind of blocks. And I've been getting honey blocks like crazy right from our centrifuge downstairs. I convert our honey bottles when I get a large stack of them just into honey blocks. So if I look for honey, like, look, we got a ton. We got a ton. Tier 1 apiary obtained. Let's go ahead and complete these quests. I imagine we'll get some interesting things, maybe? Some honeycomb. 14, that was high end of the randomizer. 8 to 16 of these, we got 14 of those. 8 to 16 of these, we got 10. And the final one, we get some honey glazed ham, some honey bottles, and Alchemist's Delight. So we only got one of that, which is the low end. I can see them just barely down here. 8 to 16 honey bottles, we got 9, so the low end of that. And then let's go ahead and throw this stuff in our storage. We don't need it. And the Alchemist's Delight, Flask of Fleet Feet, Tier 1 Apiary. Oh, it's basically all the same kind of stuff again. Scavenger's Delight, got us some web. Perfect. Now, we're going to need to go set up a Tier 1 Apiary somewhere just to play around with. I missed out on one more required block, and that is the Apiary storage, which isn't too hard to make at all, so let's just come back in here and make one, provided we have all the crates. No, it just needs chests. Request those. I don't have enough chests, though. How about that? Alright, and there is our apiary storage. Cool. Completed one more quest. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Or turn it in, I mean. Miner's Delight. Wow. And an epic Oreo. That was a reward. Reward collected. I'm gonna process this copper right now. Actually, I might just process all of this stuff right now. Look, diamonds and aluminum, iron, redstone. Nice. If we read in the book, it tells us that the apiary is a 7 by 7 and then 5 tall multi-block which contains the apiary block itself, the storage block, which we just created, and then an optional breeder, and then some solid blocks. So this thing looks pretty easy to make. It looks like we can make it out of almost anything. If we look at the advanced tags on items, you'll see that at the bottom, Resourceful Bees Valid Apiary is the tag that we're looking for, and most blocks have it. So I think we're probably just gonna like make this one out of spruce and call it a day, because we have a lot of spruce. And this thing is really just a temporary spot. I have a new sort of plan in mind for what we can do for a new bee building if we like it. But we need to see how they work first. Also, you gotta come back inside. What are you doing out here? I don't know how, but these iron golems are able to get out. Doesn't really seem like they should be able to. I've gone through, there's no blocks next to the wall. They just seem to be able to jump it somehow. And I really like tinsel. I don't want you to get lost, so stay inside. Alright, before I finish this this wall off, I'm not sure about the base. This might need to have been built like down in the ground, one. I don't know. Well, we're gonna find that out real soon though, if this works or not. Oh, okay, that's not how I wanted to do it. We need to go from this side. So, did this complete our apiary? Validate? Block at position, whatever, is invalid. I think we need to set our offset. Validate? Oh, man. Oh, enable preview. There we go. This is what we want. Yeah. We're way off, aren't we? So we need to go... Oh, this is up and down. Jeez. You know what? I think the apiary is placed in backwards. This is kind of strange. So I guess we have to place it from this side? Alright, let's try this again. So what... Now if we view it... Aha! This looks better, right? There we go. Validate. We now have an apiary. That was not how I would have expected it to work, but okay, so we do have a storage box right here. Looks like we can increase the storage, right? So if we iron storage upgrade, we could make this. This is pretty easy to make, right? This is going to store, I think, the output. Oh, and there's quick little hot buttons to go between the two different blocks, and if we had the breeder in there, we could also switch over to that. Cool. I think we're going to break it, though, real quick. Yeah, and we will get... Hey, these are valid apiary blocks. We'll get some of those in there, just so we can see what's happening. And I think we might also need to get some flowers in there, too. Go find some flowers. Alright, 3 should be perfectly fine for what we're doing. Now we need to grab some bees, see what happens. We just so happen to have some extra bees. So let's go grab them. Like, let's take a rocky bee. And maybe a forest bee? No, obsidian bee, maybe? Actually, I don't think we have the necessary item for the obsidian bee. Let's go ahead and take the forest bee. One thing to remember about these apiaries is you cannot put more than one of the same kind of bee in it. It does say, though, that you can have the same kind of bee, like one in the apiary and then one, I think, inside the box. So that's something to look into as well. All right, so we put the bee in and we hit the import button. We get our jar back. Okay. Rocky bee. Oh, tells us how long they've got left in the hive, which is nice. Looks like we can lock and unlock them. I don't know what this does. Let's click the button and see. Unlocked. We'll leave him unlocked, the Rocky bee, and we'll leave the forest bee locked just to see if anything different happens. I'm guessing if we want to remove them back out, we put our jars in here and we hit the export button. So maybe I'll leave a few jars in there. Okay, so actually, right, we unlocked the Rocky bee and it still has ticks left. The forest bee is still locked and it has ticks left 0. And it's just timing up on how long it's been in the hive. So if we unlock it, I bet you he popped right out. He doesn't seem to want those flowers and he just wants to go this direction. Now this could be because he's configured to say like, hey, my hive is all the way over there. So he might be homesick. I do believe that there is a bee wand which you can use to reset their home location. We may have to play around with that. Okay, we can see the Rocky bee, on the other hand, has decided to go for these flowers. Boy, I'm glad we put this window in. Oh, and in the storage already, we see Rocky honeycomb. And interestingly enough, I thought they were going to be the full blocks, not the comb blocks. That makes it easier because we cannot process the full blocks with our current centrifuge. Looking one more time at the Resourceful Bees quest area, there's the multi-block centrifuge, and this is the one that lets you do the honeycomb blocks. However, we will be making this, but unfortunately, it does require some things that we just can't make quite yet. And look at the centrifuge casings require infused sun metal, and I think that's also what these are. So these are all centrifuge casings and the controller. They all require infused sun metal, and we probably can make this if we attempted to. We just can't right yet. Let's go ahead and look. You have to use the natural alter infusion on sunmetal bricks, and we can make sunmetal bricks. We need sunmetal blend. We've made this before. This is silver and sulfur with magic, with source. So we can easily make the sunmetal blend to get into the bricks. However, we do not have a natural alter setup to do the infused sunmetal. So before we can get to this centrifuge controller, we will need to do a little more magic. Look at that. We already got it. This is already more handy than our current building over there. And one of the reasons why is if, let's say, I want to grab a specific bee in order to swap it out because we don't need those honeycombs anymore, or if I wanted to do a specific breeding session. I mean, this thing has a breeder, but even before we get the breeder, I can just come in here and I can lock them, say, hey, you're not allowed to go back in there, and that will let me take them out when I need them. This one's gonna produce some combs here. There they are. This might even be faster. I feel like this is faster than what's happening over there. So yeah, we will switch over to this system. One apiary is said to be able to hold 9 different kinds of bees. I don't know if that changes if you go up to apiary tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. They might still only be able to hold 9. It doesn't quite say in the quest book here. Now then, how come we didn't make the apiary breeder just yet? Well, let's take a look at what it takes to make the breeder. It takes jars, any kind of flower, storage. Those are all easy to get. It's these token of joys that we need a ritual of the forest to make. We should also, I think, be able to make this no problem. It's just we don't have a ritual of the forest set up yet, and I have never used one, and I don't know what the Sunny Blossom sapling is, or bottled sunlight, so we're not quite there yet. It's probably not difficult though. I think the altar is. I think this altar, Ritual of the Forest, is before the natural altar. So this is should be doable. We just got to do a little research into it. We have now obtained 10 ichor honeycombs, so we're going to go ahead and pull out 9 of them, leaving just 1 here in the drawers. Let's go get our first set of ichor balls? Ichor slime balls? I don't know what they're called. I can't remember. Ichor ball. That's what it's called. Perfect. We are 1 step closer to this destruction core. So, just to remind ourselves, in order to actually make a destruction core, we have to turn the ichor ball into an ichor crystal, which can be done in the blast furnace, blasting, enrichment chamber, or bulk blasting. I think we'll probably just do this one. It's cheap. "24 ichor crystals obtained." Alright, the only other thing that we really need to figure out is this corporeous spark. The basic processor we have made before: silicon, processor bindings, tin coins, and flux dust. But if we go back, corporeous spark is sparks, ectoplasm, and bottled ghosts. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, we do not have enough ectoplasm. I recently needed to use that for some other crafts. The only way to get the ectoplasm that I'm aware of is to, let's see if we come here, killing wraiths in a tomb. So I think the best course of action here would be to go into a tomb and steal a wraith spawner if we could find one, and then bring it back here and set up some kind of wraith killing chamber. The other thing, bottled ghosts, right-clicking a bottle, a cork in the air in the nether. Okay, this seems pretty easy. Removes aura from the area. I don't know if we care about that. And then the spark. The spark is lightning altar, which we haven't used in a while, with Nebu drops. Another tomb item, unfortunately. Any kind of Botania petals and blaze quartz, which is just quartz around blaze powder. I am now back in a tomb, and I had found a wraith spawner quite a long time ago, so we're going to try and capture it, although, as you can see, I can't see anything. Where are we? This looks like a pyramid. Yes, it is. Okay, now we are inside the pyramid. I'm guessing the wraith spawner is one of these. Mummy? Okay, so this is clearly a location that I found, and I don't think I went through the whole thing. I mean, clearly, right? The place doesn't look destroyed. And I did that on purpose because I didn't want to lose the wraith spawner. Aha! I have found the way down. Wraith spawner is over that way. Oh, okay, so this is the Pharaoh's room. Oh, and I've got traps and stuff in here. This is where the Wraith spawner is. I think we'll have to kill a few. Got one more in the corner, it looks like. We didn't get any luck with the ectoplasm. Okay. Got another one. So, there are cardboard boxes. Let's take a look at these cardboard boxes real quick. They supposedly can pick up a spawner, so we are going to try this now. Alright. It says no tool, so if I break it, we've got it back. Block data, yes. Block spawner. Alright, it doesn't tell us what's in it, but that should let us take this back to our base and hopefully set up a little wraith spawner. That would be amazing. Let's also check this box while we're here. Kangaroos. Yeah, we'll just take all of that. Why not? Time to go home. And we are back in our bee room. I've bred up a few more of these slime bees. This is probably going to be enough. I was looking at the liquid slime, and we can use it to create liquid ender slime, and we can also use it to create liquid sky slime bees. So we're gonna use these guys for sure. Once they grow up, I'll probably put them all in jars and then put them away for now. But why am I back here? I have created a little section in the back. You can see there is a lever here, and I'll show you what this does in a second. This is our first temporary mob killing chamber. This is just a manual location. We're not going to do anything fancy here. However, in the future we sure will be. Well, there's probably all sorts of mob grinder like items. Well, maybe not on that. But I know that the pedestal mod, which we have, can do killing, and it can do it very well, and it can do fans and all sort of stuff. So we might explore pedestal, which is a magic mod, or maybe we'll find something else to do our automated killing. But we don't need that yet. Right now, we just need some ectoplasm. So this should be our wraith box right here. We just want to get it right in the center. And I also took a mummy spawner. I don't know what mummies drop, but we have it. See what happens when I right-click this? Nothing? Shift right-click. There we go. Shift right-click. Oh, that is our mummy. That was the wrong one. This one is our wraith. Perfect. Just what we wanted. So, if we come back over here and flip the lever, you'll see there are lights in the ceiling. Pretty standard. Now they're off. If I look at F7, we can see that there is a tiny bit here that this torch is preventing. We're not going to worry too much about it. But at some point, we'll get some tinted glass in here. So I'm gonna chill out here and probably farm up a bunch of this stuff. But it hits me that we are actually at the end of the episode. And, we made some good progress here, right? We did a whole bunch of bee things, and we figured out that the apiaries are actually quite good. In the next episode, I think we're probably going to push a little bit into setting up a new apiary building. And, of course, we're going to work on our processor that the ichor slime was for. So, thank you for watching. This is Merc Serene, signing off.